The master of the Italian Renaissance, Michelangelo. Michelangelo was an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and poet of the High Renaissance, born in the Republic of Florence, who exerted an unparalleled influence on the development of Western art. Raphael Sanzio. Raphael Sanzio was an Italian painter and architect of the High Renaissance. His work is admired for its quality of form, ease of composition, and visual achievement of the Neoplatonic ideal of human grandeur. Donatello was an Italian sculptor of the Renaissance. Born in Florence, he studied classical sculpture and used this to develop a complete Renaissance style in sculpture. He worked with stone, bronze, wood, clay, stucco, and wax. Pietro Perugino. Pietro Perugino was an Italian Renaissance painter of the Umbrian school, who developed some of the qualities that found classic expression in the High Renaissance.
So today we'll be highlighting some of the major differences between the Renaissance art and modern art. First of all, modern art is basically art from the Impressionists up until the 1960s or 70s, which meant that the artists liked to capture their paintings with bold colors instead of details. Whereas the Renaissance art were the type of art that came after the 1960s and 70s. Moving on to the colors, the modern artists used mostly bright and bold colors that were often exaggerated or surreal. However, in the Renaissance period, oil paint, natural and earth colors were used that seemed to be very lively. The Renaissance art also consisted of different tones of colors to create three-dimensional and natural effects. Now, to show how different the art during the Renaissance period is compared to the modern-day art, let's take a look at the way it was portrayed. The Renaissance art contains the most well-known work of all time, Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. This painting was famous due to its mysterious smile and also its mystery behind the painting. But if you look at the modern-day art, the two portrait of Puritan Guy by Vincent van Gogh, although it is a very famous painting that had a unique Japanese style to it, the way it was portrayed is completely different from the Mona Lisa painting done in the Renaissance period. Another example that we would like to show is how a nature painting was done in the Renaissance period and how it is done now in the modern day art. If you take a look at the very popular painting known as Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh in the present day, you will see that the lines, colors, surreal sky and landscape. But if you compare it with the Renaissance art, Tempest by Giorgione, you will notice that everything in the painting looks very realistic, and the most of the nature paintings during the Renaissance period includes people. What a lot of people don't know is that during the Renaissance period, artists couldn't become great artists on their own. Instead, they had to become an apprentice of a master artist. Lastly, talking about why anyone chooses art. During the Renaissance period, artists were mainly influenced because of rivalries and ambitious popes. For instance, Pope Julius II was one of the ambitious popes. He worked hard and pushed only to keep Rome as the art capital of Europe. Nonetheless, artists of today, the modern day art, are influenced by completely different things. These days, most artists choose art because they see art as an escape to what they deal with on a daily basis, and the others enjoy art as a career.